Look at these brave, gallant, valiant, and chivalrous fighters, Syrian fighters, no less, that have come and liberated Syria. Listen to them as the Arabic rolls off of their tongues.
Allahu Akbar! Les Russes! C'est les Russes, frère! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
He's speaking French. He's saying it's the Russians, brother. C'est les Russes, frère. He's speaking French. This is some person from France. Now, I'm not saying no one in Syria can speak French, because that... no, they can speak French, but the problem is even Emmanuel Macron was admitting to the media, I think it was Le Figaro, that there are French jihadists, so people that have left France who are not Syrian, who went to Syria during the last weeks in order to fight. And we know that they've been doing that for years, but we have confirmation of that. So once again, very Syrian, right? Here we've got more Syrian rebels inside the Umayyad mosque, no less.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. We're here right now in the Umayyad mosque in Damascus, in Sham. Allahu Akbar. In the hands of the Mujahideen. Allahumma laka alhamdu shukr ya Rab. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Again, there's nothing wrong with what they're saying. Allahu Akbar, God is great. This is not the issue. But the issue is that these are the only Arabic words they know. And we keep hearing from the media that these are Syrian rebels fighting for democracy in Syria. This guy is not Syrian. As a matter of fact, he's on the list of Al-Qaeda terrorists in his own country, in Turkey. You know, these people are foreign fighters. They probably don't even have valid tourist visas. How did they get in the country? I was showing you Clarissa Ward earlier, right? We were watching her going into a prison cell, allegedly, after we know that people cleared out the whole prison. But apparently she has such amazing detective skills. She uncovered the last prisoner in Syria. So my question is, who gave her a visa? Does she have a valid visa to be inside Syria? Probably not. So she's in the country illegally, but she's not a foreign fighter. That's not the issue. I'm just trying to show you how everyone in Syria, from the bloody foreign fighters to the journalists, they've all been violating Syria's sovereignty, walking in and out of the border, like, you know, coming and going like they please, like it's some kind of park or theme park. And it just shows you the contempt that they have for the country. They really just don't have any respect whatsoever. You know, if you're Syrian, good luck trying to get a tourist visa to go to the United States. Never mind coming in with rifles and pickup trucks with anti-aircraft guns. You know, but everyone can come to Syria and do as they please, right? We're just supposed to tolerate that shit.
Mana orqada turgan jamoatimiz mujohidlari. Alhamdulillah, Alloh subhanahu va taolodan bu fathu nusratni muborak qilishligini, Sham diyorida islom bayrog'i hilpirashi.
Again, I can understand the 3-4 words he's saying when he's quoting from the Quran, but I can't understand the rest of what he's saying because he's not Syrian. He's speaking what I think is East Turkic or Turkic, which is the language that Uyghurs speak, right? So from China, from Xinjiang. Here we've got these guys are from. I think they're speaking Russian. They might be Chechenian, though. I don't know. But they're basically talking about how they want to ethnically cleanse Alawites in Syria. So multiple crimes. Entering Syria without a visa, carrying a weapon without a permit, and then ethnic cleansing as well. Lovely. I mean, I'd be disgusted with a Syrian saying that. But on top of it, for a foreign mercenary, you know, just like we are clearing out Alawite villages. Who the fuck are you, first of all? Really, like really, honestly. Look how ignorant they are. Also, like he's saying, and we yell that there's no God except God. Yeah, as if like he thinks Alawites believe in a different religion or something. It just means that, you know, I bear witness there is no God but God. Every Muslim believes in this. Every monotheistic religion has the same belief. But he's been so brainwashed by sectarianism and taught to hate other sects and other ethnic groups that it's gotten to a point where it's like he has brain damage. Like he can't even grasp that, oh, these are also Muslims. And they believe and say the same things that I say. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable, the level of hatred and stupidity. Like why does he think Alawites would be offended by saying that I bear witness that there's no God except God? I mean, it's again, do you see what we're talking about when we say that sectarianism is dangerous? Because it's not only unhealthy and it's not only damaging to the social fabric, it's nonsensical on top of it. It's nonsensical, and it's people who are not Syrian who are coming to Syria and causing irreparable damage, who are carrying out war crimes like ethnic cleansing, and then they just, who knows what they do afterwards. They're not held accountable, definitely not. Maybe they go back to their own countries and they start doing that kind of stuff to their own people. It's just like reverberations of evil, you know what I'm saying?
Войска ля иляха илlallah наступают, войска, которые говорили, что Али это Бог или Башар это Бог, отступают, сидят дома, боятся. Оставьте. Не, оставь, Поехали. Ля иляха илlallah. Ля иляха илlallah. Мухаммад Расулулlah.
In any case, they're not Syrian, are they? They're definitely not Syrian, but according to CNN, they are. So, it's funny because they want to, they don't want you to hear what actual Syrians have to say. They want to give you one narrative, which is the extremist narrative that comes from, filtered news sources like or curated rather, news outlets like CNN, like, the Saudi funded ones, BBC, New York Times, and it's one narrative. There's no place for plurality or diversity or for nuance. No. It's, the rebels are all Syrians. They're all freedom fighters. And now Al-Qaeda are removed from the list. Hayat Tahrir al-Sham are liberators. I mean, this is wild. This is really wild. It's not cognitive dissonance. Because these people that are going on television, like the head of MI6, and trying to rehabilitate, Jolani and Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, which is Al-Qaeda, these people spy on us in the name of protecting us from Al-Qaeda, and then they tell us that Al-Qaeda are liberators because they happen to be carrying out their agenda in Syria. Isn't that weird? Isn't that funny? I mean, what a contradiction, not to mention it's a bloody lie. And again, this is not a revolution. I'm sorry. When you have to bring in $1 billion from the United States, and you got to bring in fighters from Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Afghanistan, from Libya, from Tunisia, from Iraq, from Saudi Arabia, from China, that's not a revolution, When you've got such a significant chunk of the fighters that are guns for hire and mercenaries, it's not a revolution. You can call it whatever you like, but you're not going to dupe me. All right. And again, of course, you have a large chunk of Syrians that actually wanted a revolution. But you have to ask yourself that the result that just took place, that just happened now, it took 13 years to achieve. It took billions of dollars to achieve. If it was really just Syrians in the equation, just Syrians rising up and trying to get rid of, Bashar al-Assad and institute some new kind of government, do you think it would have actually even worked? Without all that foreign weight and support coming in? I don't think it would have, no. I don't think a natural, organic, genuine revolt would have taken that long and claimed that many lives and caused so much widespread suffering. And the reason you see many Syrians celebrating now, a good chunk of them wanted the revolution, that's obvious. I'm not saying the whole population, but of those that are celebrating, a good chunk of them wanted this result. Others just want an end to the war. Others are being hopeful. They're hoping that the country will now, become more reconciliatory, become more peaceful, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm just trying to remind you. We were just talking about Syria's role in the region, internationally, its resources. There are too many hands in the cookie jar. Do you understand? There are too many foreign powers at play for this to be called a revolution. It's a dirty war. It's a regime change operation. It's a coup. And it's not like it's the first bloody one. They did it in Iraq. They did it in Libya. The whole goddamn region has undergone the same kind of pressure and meddling as Syria. Although you could argue Syria more than others in some aspects. But it's the same people that have been doing this for decades. Why is this a surprise to anyone is beyond me, to be quite frank. It's beyond me. And the saddest part is that these people are not just promoting sectarian violence, is that they will just, you know, it's like they're coming into the country, they're crapping on the floor, creating irreparable damage, and then they leave, and, you know, Syrians are the ones who have to clear that up and clear up that mess. And this goes against everything that they claim to represent. You know, do you actually think that Islam teaches you to behave like these people behave, like Daesh and Al Qaeda? No, it doesn't. It just doesn't. These takfiri jihadists, they call themselves more religious and pretend that they are the correct way of Islam, and then they butcher people, you know, just to prove a point. And that goes everything that Islam teaches. And I'm saying that as a Christian because I know what Syria is like, and I know the truth, and I know how the society is, and I know that this sectarianism doesn't work. It's bad, it's unhealthy, and it goes against what the religion teaches. I'm telling you. And on top of that, this Wahhabism, remember, Wahhabism is a big element of it. That's been promoted by Britain. That's been promoted by the West for a long time now, for over 100 years. They've been trying to use that to make the image of Islam look different and look violent, and then, of course, use those groups to divide and conquer throughout the region, right? And they put people like the Al Saud family in power in Saudi Arabia, who, by the way, they themselves funded this war in Syria, or part of it, because they want to rely on people who have similar, or an ideology that is not similar to them, but that can be used for their agenda, right? So Britain is you know, people who work at MI6 and Whitehall are not themselves Wahhabis, but they understand how to use Wahhabism to divide and conquer the region for British, or rather for their own selfish interests. I still don't understand how the average person in England benefits from this. Quite the contrary, but you know what I mean? It's like they just promote things of, you know, the extremism and the radicalism that benefits their foreign policy, and that's it. That's it. Just like Zionism. Just like Zionism. It's the same thing, you know? They find the most violent form of it, and then they use it to divide and conquer, and it's always based on sectarianism, because it's a recipe for disaster, and unfortunately, it works a lot of the time. Unfortunately. Again, YouTube demonetized my channel because I'm not allowed to say naughty things about Israel. You know, telling the truth is forbidden. So if you are able to donate a few dollars on PayPal, or on a monthly basis on Patreon, please consider doing it, because it would really help me continue my journalism and support independent media. So I'd be very grateful. And the links are in the description and also in the chat. Thank you guys very much again for all your donations and all your kind comments. I appreciate it very much.